What is going on? I'm Cole, and I am back here with my co-host Blake, and we've got a special guest for the first time. This is episode 10 of Blake and Cole Read a Book, and we brought Chris from Fortress of Comics. Chris, how are you doing today?
Doing good, guys. How are you guys doing?
Good,
Blake,
good.
Blake, how are you? How are you doing again? I was gonna say, Blake, you should answer that first, but you already answered it, so now it's just weird. But I said Blake, and it just happened.
Yeah, just living the dream, baby. It's wonderful.
So yeah, we were talking in the green room a little bit. We got a little bit distracted. If you guys have met Blake before, you know it's very easy for that to happen sometimes. So here we are. Sorry, we're a little bit late, but we're going to be talking about the mega hit from Image Comics, Vanish, volume number 1. This is coming from Donny Cates. We got artist Ryan Stegman. We got J.P. Myers and John J. Hill. Overall, what was your reactions to this, Blake? So Chris, you've read this before, right?
Oh, yeah, I was reading it month to month in the issues. So,
and I also have read it month to month. This is Blake's first time. What are your overall thoughts here?
Man, I was really into it. I knew it was like a new superhero universe, right? But the whole magic idea like tied into it, and this other world, and I was really into it, especially just because I think so many of us are just like aching for a new magical universe to replace that one magical universe that is now forever tainted and tarnished, and it's just like.
Are you talking about Narnia?
Yes.
Talking about Hogwarts and the Harry Potter world.
Yeah. So it was weird. This was actually pitched with some Harry Potter vibes, and I get it, but I also don't. Issue 2 really kind of gets into that. We'll probably get to that a little bit later, though.
Issue 1 is 100% if 90s Image did Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Like, that's the elevator pitch for it. It does go off that rail really quick, but yeah, that's definitely where they started off.
Yeah, I really like. There's a lot of things that they are doing that I really like. I'm a big fan of like the unreliable narrator trope, right? And it usually works like with Donny Cates actually does this a lot in his writing. Like he does it. I mean, I know he's suffered with addiction and stuff in the past, and so a lot of his characters too suffer with addiction and substance abuse and some like emotional trauma. And it's very interesting. Like you never really know who the protagonist is, right? Like this guy doesn't really feel like a good guy, and he's like. He's given in to rage and violence and his baser instincts and is ignoring all the signs that people keep, pointing at him, just to kind of like get revenge on his troubled childhood and against all these like super magicians and, all the crazy stuff that happened in the past. But yeah, this is probably one of the stronger Substack releases.
Oh, this was on Substack?
This is when
That's nuts.
Like he got Donnie and Stegman they were one of the first people like with Tinian and Chip Zdarsky. Tynan. And they got those Substack groups.
Jeff Lemire was pretty early too.
Yeah. But they were one of the first groups of people that got. No one has ever said how much money they got. All we know is that Tynion like walked away from a fucking DC Batman contract. So they gave him enough money.
Did he walk away from? I mean, I guess some people really like that.
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah, I mean, per his newsletters and announcements and stuff, he left early because of that. And his sub, like the Onion deal, like I know a lot of people like his because they get like exclusive variants and they come signed and for like the spec people who are into that, like they're getting a lot of stuff they can sell on eBay for big money, but they're paying the $200 a year or $175 a year for that gold tier treatment. But there's a lot of people subscribe to that. It's crazy how much money these guys are getting on Substack. And then now we're seeing that like these books are going to come out later anyway, like Dark Horse or someone's going to reprint them, Dark Horse, Image, whomever. And so like people are still going to get these books because the physical purists, right, freaked out initially because they were like,
a lot of them pitched that too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they were like eventually they'll come out. Yeah, but it was for a while it was a big unknown, and then like no press got to ever see a Substack unless you paid for it. and most press didn't pay for it. You know, we were like, well, they want us to fucking review it, they'll send it to us, which they never did. So that's fine.
I know you mentioned an unreliable narrator, and I was very unreliable. I didn't even go into the comment sections before we started this. So first off, we got my dude Steven Hayner. Happy Tuesday, indeed, Steve. How are you doing? Hopefully, you're having an awesome time. We got Las Cruces all the way from New Mexico. How's it going? We got Sam King.
What up, Sam?
Who, at one point in time, told me how to pronounce the word poutine, but I think he said it's pronounced Putin. We got my dude over at Comics by the Bay. What's going on, Marvel Matt? We've got Durs. He's pretty upset that we did a show about a book he thinks he's the biggest fan about, and we didn't invite him. So to be fair, we were just talking about this in a Discord, and Blake and I were like, blah, 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 blah. And Chris was like, hey, can I come on your show? And just invite me and I'll come. And I was like, hey, Blake, we're doing issue 10. Do you want to invite somebody? He already said he'd come on. So he technically asked. So if you want to come on, we might be inviting people on some of the issues that ends in 5s or 0s. Possibly Blake maybe is going to maybe configure this into his Patreon if he wants to, but we haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah.
So
anything we can do to squeeze some fucking pennies out of all you weirdos.
Just do what I do and force your way into everything.
Internet's favorite grifter, I've found out.
Like. Yeah, the internet's favorite grifter. I also didn't even read the blurb, and I was like, are there some words in here that are going to be hard for me to read?
Time out, though. Is Chris drinking out of a fucking old Pizza Hut?
Yeah, the Coca-Cola glass.
That's fucking gnarly.
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's why we had Chris on the show.
We all got cool cups.
Yeah, I got the Two-Face McDonald's glass.
I couldn't go straight tonight for you, but I did bring out the heavy artillery because I knew I had to deal with Blake's shit tonight. Yeah. So here we are.
I've got the old faithful Elijah Craig. I drove by Heaven Hills just on Friday, and I didn't get to stop, and that was kind of a bummer.
Oh, when you were on
I was gonna drink mead on the show tonight, but then I was cleaning up the yard and I set a big fire in our fire pit, and I drank 2 bottles of mead, and I told Blake and Travis Gibb how much I love them, and so that's where all my mead went.
I could never do that again. Oh, you just drank it all. Okay, I thought you were like,
it's all gone now.
I'm like, well, I embarrass myself, because I've had many of those nights where you drink a little too much and you wake up and see some Twitter posts that you definitely don't remember, and you're like,
did I just send Ryan Stegman a DM of my nipple?
Ryan, you live 2 hours away. Like, you should come hang out sometime. I do Cole's comic book claims. I'll claim you. I'll claim you for my own.
The one thing I noticed today is that he retweeted the post I made on Twitter, which was pretty cool. And then I looked at his Twitter and I noticed that he lives loosely 2.5 hours away from me. So he is in the same state as me. He is a Michigander. So, hey, thanks for that, Ryan Stegman.
So you got Stegman. I got Capullo.
I've got Jason Aaron.
Oh, okay. I guess Blake wins.
I
love me some Jason Aaron.
I don't really know how to find him. I know he lives in I think he lives in Prairie Village, which is about 20 minutes away.
You got Cullen Bunn too, right?
Cullen lives in that other. He's like an hour and a half away. In like, oh my god, I can't.
Well, I mean that's closer than Ryan Stegman lives to me.
That's true. But yeah, Cullen's fairly close.
I think
Cullen actually knows who I am too now from like the con and being on the show and stuff too. Jason Aaron. I don't know. You guys want to hear a funny story about Jason Aaron? So I met him at Planet Comic Con, and I had those business cards I made, right? And I was giving them to everybody. I was giving them to vendors, random people walking by, people I was standing next to in line. It actually ended up working. Like some people checked out the show. I got a handful of YouTube subscribers. Fred Van Lente emailed me and wants to come on the show. And so people remembered these. They look like an old X-Men playing card and or trading card. And so I'm in line for Jason Aaron, and I have him sign his Once Upon a Time at the End of the World book, because that's the only. I didn't even know he did this improp. He was in New York, he wasn't on the Planet Comic Con list. He was in New York, and then I heard people whispering at the con. They were like, "Yeah, Jason Aaron's going to be here today." And so I walk over to the Elite Comics booth. Elite's probably the biggest local shop we have. They're pretty nice. It's a big place, and they're pretty popping all the time. And they were like, "Yeah, he's doing a signing at our booth. It wasn't scheduled. He came back in town and wants to swing by." So I hang out at this booth. I'm one of the first people in line. I wish I would have known about it. I would have brought like a cool book for him to sign. But I just, bought something at their booth. And so I get there and I give him my card. I was like, dude, I love your stuff, man. And I was like, I got this podcast. It'd be so cool to get you on sometime. And he looks at me and he's like, I don't do a lot of these, Blake. It's, you could tell he was basically like, I don't have to do these anymore. He's like, I'm at the level where like interviews aren't necessary anymore. And so he was like, but he was like my PR person. I'm looking for a new one. I don't have one. So like, shoot me an email. I'll get it. Maybe we can set something up for later in the year. And I give him my card and I go, I still hate myself for saying this. I was like, I will wait for you, Jason Aaron. And everybody, like all these people start laughing. And I was like, that was a little weird. I was like, fuck.
So I met him. I bought Southern Bastards. In the trade, he just writes, "Roll damn Tide." Cole, nice. Roll damn Tide. And I was just like, I think it was a year that Michigan State got rolled by Alabama. And I was like, this is very hurtful, but you didn't mean to hurt me. You're just doing your thing. And I got hurt in the thing. But hey, I put the hashtag down there. I noticed, we've got some people putting in Vanish. So if you're here, make sure you put hashtag Vanish. We will be giving away the trade of this at some point in time throughout this stream. So thank you. We got a new person coming in. What's going on, Trev?
What up,
Shipping Guru? How are you doing? So let's get back to this. I'm gonna throw this up. Let's look at this cover. I think this is Ryan Stegman on the cover, but
yeah. Did you guys notice all the B's were Daniel Warren Johnson? Like I kind of want to go.
Oh yeah. There's some sweet B covers, dude. The one of issue 4 is immaculate.
Yeah, they're all great. Yeah.
So I did kind of
love. Oh. Just as a aside, do you guys remember? I mean, Cole, maybe not because you don't remember this being a Substack book, but when this was announced and they announced Kids Love Chains Press,
yeah,
and going through like I think it was on Stegman's podcast, Stegman and his amazing friends, and they went through all the covers and it was Donnie and Stegman and whoever the other 2 dudes that do that show with him are talking about the different covers and what the book was and everything. Did either of you ever watch that back in the day when it happened?
No,
I didn't, but I think Travis talked about it.
Like I've kind of wanted to listen. I heard the Stegman and his friends podcast is pretty good, and I just never. I don't listen to podcasts.
I don't listen to the thing that I have.
When you have a podcast and when you're editing that shit and putting it out and scheduling interviews and trying to do all that, like, guess what? You don't have time to do? Listen to other fucking people's podcasts. Like Cole is trying to show me now, like that to like be more into the YouTube community, right? And so I'm trying to watch more YouTube stuff and leave comments and make sure and like people's shorts that I see pop up. And it's like, it's kind of fucking exhausting. Like it really is, man. When you like managing all these different social medias and stuff, it gets really hard. But that is one that I would like to go back and check out, because like Donnie Cates, I like him for the most part. Sometimes I think he gets a little hot-headed, and that's fine. He's living the fucking dream right now, and he's got life shit going on. So like, I get it, but I mean, I think some people are I think some, just like a lot of things, get overhyped, but he's very his production is steady, right? He may not always blow your mind, but it's always, well, yeah, so we're kind of, that might be an interesting thing to talk about too, because it's just like, where's everything at right now? But anyway, like, like Baby Teeth, I was really into Baby Teeth when it came out. Was sick. I love his indie stuff, and I think that this brought me back to like old school Donnie Cates indie, and also like when he works with Stegman, they have like this kind of magic that appears on the page, and a lot of it is Stegman's art, because I don't know that Stegman's human. He gets better. Like every big project he's on, he keeps leveling up. He's like Daniel Warren Johnson. Like he drops these big bangers and these big sweeping splash panels, and you're like, what? I remember reading their Venom, and there's this Venom splash page where like Venom stops a subway train, and it's one of the most beautiful like 2-page splashes I've ever seen. And so Stegman just does that. Like he keeps wowing you visually and one-upping himself, and the two of them together have like a really great vibe, and they produce, right? They just like they sit in a room together, they have fun, they laugh, they have drinks or whatever they do, and they just
I
make
don't think
great
they have
pages.
drinks, dude.
They may not. Yeah, they may not have drinks.
Probably not drinks.
So
I was gonna
we-
say, Blake. Just
sorry, I covered
first
you
of
there.
first of all, not listening to podcasts of the podcasters sounds like a grifter thing to do.
Yeah, totally.
That's very
no,
effeminate of you.
It's a
but
very effeminate piece of shit thing to do. I don't know if anybody was on Twitter yesterday, but I was on one.
Also,
We don't need to talk about that though.
so I'll just say I'm like a huge Donny Cates fanboy. Like I remember picking up. I think God Country was my first Cates book.
yeah,
Yeah,
But then
God
I think
Country's
that's most
phenomenal, and I
yeah,
cried.
Paybacks,
I cried.
and if you've never read Redneck, like
Yes.
it's a vampire book set in Texas. It's awesome. And then when he got announced to come to Marvel, I was really excited. Was kind of on his Doctor Strange stuff, but dude, Thanos Kills is amazing.
Yep.
Venom was the best Venom I think ever, in my opinion. And his Thor up until the point where whatever happened to him happened was really great. I was like
What about
really
Hulk?
enjoying everything.
I
Did you
like
like Hulk?
Hulk.
Hulk was
People
fun.
hate Hulk. I like
Yeah,
Hulk.
Cole was standing up for him. Cole
Yeah,
was
Hulk
Because-
is fun.
The thing is, like, it followed the greatest Hulk run in some people's minds, right? Like, and it's just
Yeah.
like that's the thing. He did something completely different. And the thing I respect about Donny Cates is his thing that he says is I write books that I want to read. And that is a book that he wants to read.
Yeah.
And I liked it. It was fun. Was it the best book in the world? Probably not. But
Well,
like, to be fair, you're
Was it a
following-
tribute?
No,
To
like
be-
he makes Hulk. It's a metaphor that Hulk's a spaceship, and
Oh.
like he's in like Bruce Banner's like driving it in the head, but it's also a literal spaceship. I don't know. It's just
Wow.
it's
that
some
actually
big old.
that sounds pretty
It's
gnarly.
it's Star
it
Trek
is.
Hulk. Like that's all it is.
It's yeah. It was called Spaceship Hulk or something. But also
Yeah.
we got a Ignacio over here. What is going on, my dude? Thank you for stopping by. We've got 3 good nerds too. Thank you for stopping by. I've kind of not done a good job at the chat because we have more people here. So sorry to everyone there. Also, there is a banner. If you haven't seen it, make sure you put #Vanish down here. Let's go through some of the art here, though. So this is. I get all my pages straight from Image's site. So these are like the ones they allow for issue 1.
Yeah.
I've got so like issue 1 has like kind of this, issue 1 is this. You go through and you get you meet the main character, right? His name's Vanish. This is also a different character
It's
named
like
Bottle
Damian-
Rocket.
does Damian Wayne want
Yeah,
to be?
Damian Wayne if he was Superman. But yeah, like so you kind of see this guy. I mean, Vanish, the concept of this character is he is down and out. We've talked about like the Harry Potter-esque stuff here, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that stuff really it kind of is in that first issue because the first issue deals with him and how he takes care of the bad guy, right?
Yeah.
And why he is the chosen one, why he's the boy with the lightning bolt scar.
In the
is
first
that?
No, it's
issue,
the
he is
it's the
Harry
boy
Potter.
with the shoulder seal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the
So he
signet
is
and a
Potter in that
handgun.
first issue, and then we get like the magical school and everything. And then, do we go full spoilers on this, or
Dude, you can
so-
just give like Cole a heads up and he'll flash the spoiler.
I'll
deal,
just
but
I'll just
I
throw it on
I
now.
think
So
everybody who knows us like knows that like we might we try not to let the real big stuff slip. Like
yeah,
So
so
I
like
won't-
I don't
I
think
won't
that
slip
there's
on it then.
anything here. I don't know that Vanish is anything that we're really gonna spoil besides I don't know. I don't really there's nothing to me that is spoiler-esque here that is like
I think the reveal that I'm gonna try to glaze over because I'm not gonna spoil it if we're gonna do that. But the reveal at the end of the first issue and how
Okay.
it drastically turns from like the Harry Potter mythos of like fighting Voldemort and like that being an ongoing struggle, and it being very clear what happens to that version of that character in this
Yeah.
world right away. Like it was definitely like Donnie doing his version of that, and then just immediately just throwing the wrench right in the gears to be like,
and
but
the
we're
wrench
not
was
playing
the
that
wrench the
game.
handgun. Because I
okay,
mean,
yeah.
it's the first issue. It's been out for a while. We can spoil some stuff, but no, like
that's it,
I'm
right?
with you.
I even made a handgun reference, right? I think the handgun was crazy. Like
Yeah.
that's a great thing. And I mean, I read that first issue when that first issue came out, and I was like, fuck yeah. Because I love Donny Cates. I'll admit it. Like I didn't want to, not that I didn't want to, but like I kind of compare Donny Cates to me is comparable to like Scott Snyder.
I
with some of
thought
the
you
stuff that
said
they
you
do.
compared him to you. Like, I love Donnie Cates. We
Yeah,
have a
he's-
lot in
he's a lot like
common.
me.
If Donnie Cates was a YouTube content creator, I feel like he would be very similar to me.
But I think they both do this thing, right? Where they have these very, very ambitious
Yeah.
stories. Everything that they do is bigger than life. And I think that it's kind of funny because I don't think Scott Snyder anyone ever really gets upset. I've never seen a ton of flack from him. And I think he does kind of a very similar thing to Donnie
The only thing
Cates,
I've ever seen
From him or
is
to him?
like about him. Like people are
Yeah.
out here saying,
well, no,
like,
he's a great person.
When
oh
when
yeah,
he
for
was
sure.
doing DC stuff, especially through his Batman run, I'll say like Twitter wasn't as big and everything, but I remember people were like very up
Which
in
is
arms
weird
about some of
because
the shit he was
now
doing.
everyone is like Scott Snyder, greatest Batman run
Yeah,
all time.
But that's
right?
what happens.
Yeah.
All these creators, they go through their
we all
flack
got to eat our
moment.
own shit
Yeah, and then
eventually.
and then everybody turns around and is like, it's the oh shit, I was gonna make a video game comparison, but the Zelda on GameCube, it's that comparison where everybody hated it in the
Wind
moment.
Waker, yeah.
Yeah, but nowadays when you talk to people, they're like, "Oh, that was the best
Yeah.
one." Like that's how people react. to
Wind
this
Waker
shit. Like,
sucked because the boat travel wasn't good enough. Like,
I'll say it out loud. Like Wind Waker did suck. It still sucks. I'm sorry, Zelda fans. That's how it is.
it was
but
cool.
I'm just saying,
that
like, that's-
animation was
You guys,
crazy.
you
when it
guys are
came out.
nerding over my head right now.
Yeah.
But that's how it happens in comics too. Where like I remember I was reading Batman New 52, and while I read some DC prior to that, like New 52 was really my introduction to the DC universe as a whole.
Yeah, baby. Chris, we should
And,
do it. You and I should do a New 52 episode of shit one day because New 52 is very special to me. I'm sorry. Go on.
We can discuss
Didn't
that
mean to
off
interrupt
air. But I was
Thanks,
that
Chris.
Batman run was really, really good, and I remember defending it to the death. Like, no,
Yeah.
this is good shit. And I knew people that were, and even being online, people were like, "This is bullshit. This is stupid," and everything. And it's like, why is Joker's face stretched out like that?
Oh, that was.
And now you go
I
back
think
and it's
that's
like
the
that.
best of all those stories.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's
that
Peter.
first
That's Peter
issue-
Tomasi who did that actually.
Yeah, and that first
Detective.
issue is high in price, and everybody wants to do Court of Owls now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's just how this shit goes. Is what the point I'm trying to make. Like,
You know what's funny is so like that Batman New 52 is very special to me, and at the time I showed up late to it and then went back and like bought the same, like I wanted the floppy collection.
Mhm.
And so I had like the first 12 issues I had to go back and buy or something like that, and they were very much taxed. And oh god, this is hard.
That's
This
funny.
is
I bought the
this is hard to
first
say.
10 issues.
Yeah.
And
you
then I
quit?
stopped, and then I got like issue 49 to 52.
Cole, I'll just impress you because I have that whole run cover price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've gone back and got a lot of them. The thing I hate though is people, that's the thing. That's a run where a lot of those books should be $3 or less. And
But they're
people just
not.
charge $5 for them because it's got Scott Snyder's name on it, where it's like,
Well, and then remember like at that time too, DC was doing like the 1 in 50 and the 1 in 100 black and white variants that got like real pricey too. But
I was buying
so guess,
all of them. 'cause my
Guess
name's
what?
Blake
Guess
and I'm
what?
Daddy.
Batman New 52 Snyder Capullo #1 that I have. It's the 1 in 25 variant of the effeminate piece of shit artist.
Oh, I have so many of those where it's
Like,
just like, fuck.
and now,
I have them some signed.
now,
I
like,
feel weird selling them.
yeah, right. Like I want to like
But
I
I
kind of
don't
want to
want
do a
it.
bad idea and burn it in my yard, but I paid a lot of money for that.
Yeah.
I didn't pay a lot of money for it, but
I'll-
I think I might have paid $40 for it. But anyways, I remember I loved that New 52 run, and it really made me think differently about Batman, and it was really great. And I remember it ending, and they announced Tom King. And if you guys really want to like go back and like hunt me down on Twitter, you can find a Twitter tweet from me being like, who the fuck is this Tom King guy? Like, I've never heard of him. And like, sometimes
changed
it's
the
so
game for
good
comics.
to like eat your own fucking words for
Yeah.
breakfast. Cause Tom King's Batman and Snyder's Batman and I'm going to say it, like, you guys can call me out, and Grant Morrison's Batman. These are like top 3 Batman for me. And Tomasi's Batman and Robin.
I mean, I
so-
love Tom King.
so that
for Batman.
that's
number
four
one
that's
for me.
4 Batman runs that like I love them all, I think, almost equally. I don't know that I could like really segment them out into 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I was so wrong though, because I was like, who the fuck is this Tom King guy? Like, he doesn't write comics. I've never heard of him, and he hadn't written many comics, but he'd written some novels and he'd done some work in other places.
He did Sheriff Babylon.
Sheriff Babylon.
Sheriff Babylon. He did that after Batman, I thought.
Nah,
no, that's before.
Oh,
that's
it was
his like
before
introduction
Batman?
to
Okay.
that
comics.
was his first comics because he had to get the
Well, shit,
CIA
wow, yeah.
to like approve some shit before
Oh, yeah,
Vertigo
okay.
would even publish it. But
So-
let's get to issue 2. There's a pretty crazy thing in issue 2. We got really off the rails. So as you can see, there's some towers going on back here. Did you notice this, Blake? When you were reading this, did this
The Twin
moment
Towers
stick
is
out?
a huge
Yes.
deal.
Okay,
Yeah.
so dude, I'm not gonna lie, like, but were you like affected by this? Like, what was your thoughts when you read this issue? Were you thinking that I would bring this up in this conversation?
Yeah,
today?
no. Well, no.
I don't know how much you noticed
I didn't-
from Twitter.
Oh, I
about
thought,
when this issue dropped.
I don't know what you know about 9/11, Blake, but back in the day, these planes flew.
There was a huge thing where people were fucking livid
Oh, really?
about Donny
Yeah.
Cates putting this
Okay,
event.
that's
Dude,
stupid though, because there
I-
are so many comedians and other people that make 9/11 jokes are okay right now. So fucking 9/11 jokes are, there's no humor in
And-
this at all.
right.
There's
No.
there's respect paid. There's traumatic experience given.
it's literally
agency.
the main character is wondering why couldn't we help this?
Yeah.
And he's saying how evil. Essentially, it's painting a picture that even though his headmaster was somebody that taught him, he's still an evil person for not stopping events like this. Because if we stop this event, another war will
Yeah,
happen.
then
and that's
you-
what
you
they
have
go
to-
into, right?
Yeah.
And I know that Comics by the Bay, I actually found him, I think, because he made a post about that. He made a video about this because he had, I want to say it might have been this. It's not this image, but it's the one after this page. There's like the
Yeah.
actual plane, but you see it where it's got the like magic in front of
Yeah,
it.
it almost
as
looks
if
like
he's
they're going to change
projecting
it.
the stop,
Yeah.
right? And I know that he had mentioned that that was a picture, and he had a coworker who had family in there that yelled at him. Yeah, he said he was fully pissed at him about using it in the thumbnail. I know that there's another guy in the comic book community, Brian LCS. He's in New York, and I'd asked him, I'm like, I'm not sure if you were there then, but like I knew he was reading this book, and I was like, hey, I've noted, like, I didn't say anything. I just said I love this issue, and he was just saying, like, one of the things he thought of, like, the thing that got him was, what if there was a thing that could have stopped that? and
Yeah.
it, like
Like
didn't
our
get stopped,
government?
right?
You want to get real? Like,
No, Blake, we're talking about comics. We're not going there. We can't talk about.
Wait. Are we going to talk about how
We're not
steel
talking about
beams
how
can't be
Jet-
melted?
you want to
by-
go off the rails? We're going to go off the rails.
Chop and drop. I'm sorry. I'm so
So-
sorry that you came here at this very moment. I'm gonna immediately get into issue
Actually,
3.
Cole,
So-
if I could jump in.
yeah.
To be serious for a minute. So 9/11 for me, like my mother was one of the leading people in the country for like a lot of this the equipment that the first responders were using. So her company was actually sent her to go work with them on the site. So when I was in 7th grade, 6th grade when this all happened, and I got pulled out of school to go to New York City like weeks after the planes hit.
Oh,
So
wow.
I have vivid memories of being in New York City and what the city was like and being at the site and all this stuff. So like that moment in history, while it's burned in everybody's brains, it's burned in mine even deeper because I stood there.
Wow.
And all around my parents' house, I have stuff in my house that are stuff from 9/11, the towers and everything. And I remember reading this and just thinking how I like how they treated it. I thought it was a great image to use. It's the perfect image for our age group because Donnie's around our age.
And that's what I was
And-
saying too. He's, the similar age to us. Like I was saying, I was in 10th grade. I watched this on the news
Yeah,
in my
I was a
civics
sophomore.
class as
Yeah.
like the second
shut down
plane's
school.
coming. And
Yeah.
it was such a weird moment
This
to
was-
like see that. But
Yeah,
like,
this was social studies class. Like
Yeah.
I went into my history class and this is what we watched because history was in front of us. But so him being of that age and everything, it was the perfect imagery for him to use for that moment to show what he was trying to show. And I think it's been long enough for like we got guys doing jokes about it and everything. And whatever you think about that, like it's one of those things where it's no longer too soon. But I still thought reading it, my immediate reaction, I texted the co-host of my podcast and was like, that was ballsy for him to put that on page and then for Stegman to draw it. Like,
Yeah.
I could not believe that they did it, even though it's been 20 something years since it happened and it's like a historical moment and everything. I still felt that way. So I love this moment because I love the balls in it, and I love how they use that moment to portray, because what it really came down to was how humans treat each other and everything.
Yeah.
That was what they were trying to portray in that moment.
Well, it kind of now blends into the narrative of like, if you could time travel, if you could do this, like, do you go back and kill Hitler as a baby? Like, that's been Deadpool had a joke that Disney made him cut, right, because of that. But it's the same kind of narrative of like, when you if you can time travel, if you can change something, like, do you do it? Can you do it? And yeah, but yeah, it like I said, like, I'm an asshole. I've laughed at a lot of the comedians that make 9/11 jokes, but I mean, I lived through it too, and so, like, I don't want to make light of it, but I'm just saying, like, my dad told me a long time ago that if you can make people laugh at a funeral, you're a special kind of person, and the world needs you. And so if you can make people laugh at trauma and experience it in a different way, that doesn't make you a bad person. That makes you a special person.
My
it makes
quick
you
aside,
helpful.
And I mean,
my quick aside to that, because I know Cole wants to move on, is that for
Cole
humor,
always First of all, Chris, Cole always wants to move on. you say what you want to say.
Well,
Cole,
I respect
deal
Chris.
with it later.
Chris can talk about it. I'm just
my
trying
quick
to
aside to that is I have a very dark sense of humor as well, and I love dark humor, and I love even too soon jokes, like stuff in the moment that people are saying we shouldn't be joking about.
Yeah.
I say fuck that. Humor like brings people together, and
heals.
cures wounds, and so I'm all fine with all of that. A lot of people do get like too up in their own ass about this stuff. Like, we can't make these jokes, and it's like, fuck you, just ignore it. Like, look away. But I didn't think this was too soon, even though in my gut I felt like it was a ballsy move. It's not. It's been like 20 something years.
It has, but
years
it's the art aspect though, right? Like the visual aspect. Like it's I guess it's that this is why comics is special also, and why it can get weird is because, like, we have that dual narrator that Scott McCloud talks about in Understanding Comics, right? Whereas, like, you have this narrator that you read, and then you have this narrator that you see, and to see Stegman draw those towers and draw the plane, that's what made it heavier than just like a comedian making a joke on a stage, because there was a visual element as well. But I kind of commend them for that. Like, it was different. It was different, and there was respect paid to it. There wasn't disrespect.
No.
You know, there was honor and pain and weirdness, and they put it out there and made a lived experience part of their narrative, which universalized it, right? Which made us like, oh yeah, like you said, like, we all experienced it. We all were, or a lot of us were at this age bracket. We're in high school. They shut down fucking school. They couldn't send us home yet. And they were just like, everybody watched the news, and we were fucking watching the news for an hour and 15 minutes at a time while we transferred from class to class. And I remember that, man. Like, I remember my mom coming to pick me up from high school and couldn't get there. Like, it took her a couple hours to get me because she filled up her tank, because everybody was like, no one's going to be able to get gasoline. Like, that was this big fear. And she, like, went to a gas station and stood in line for an hour to fill up her tank. Then she came and get me and brought me home. And yeah, it was a crazy time, but it was a crazy time that we all experienced together. And I'm going to say this, there's nothing wrong with using that in your narrative, especially now when it's been like over 20 years or right at 20. Yeah, no, it's over 20 years. Like, it's like, and but they gave it the respect, they gave it the agency, and they gave it the emotional weight that they needed to give it. It wasn't a joke. It wasn't a thing that was like shrugged off. It was a very real story beat. And, like, in that sense, like, I feel like they paid a lot of respect to a lot of people that we lost that day. and a lot of the freedom that we lost that day, and a lot of the comforts of being an American that we lost that day. And I'm maybe I'm being a fucking prick right now, but that's just how I felt about it. Like I felt like they dealt with that very responsibly.
That's what I thought.
And it worked.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I wanted to get at, because there was a weird pushback. And I know you didn't read this book, so I figured you might have missed that, because there was a huge pushback about this. Also, I forgot to say hi to Norenrad. Hey, thank you for joining us. We also got Flash Ray. What is going on, my dude? We got Signature Kings. Thank you for stopping by. And we got my buddy Tapia. Hey, what is going on, dude?
What a transition.
Sorry.
From the pain of 9/11.
So
to the,
you want to hear something crazy? We're just
going
to keep on the 9/11 real quick, though. So in the city that I live in, the day after 9/11, Tool and Rage Against the Machine were going to play at the big place in our thing.
That's the big sin.
They canceled
Someone
that.
missed that.
They canceled that show. They canceled that show, and then Rage Against the Machine broke up because they broke up over 9/11. So then I know
what?
Yeah.
They broke up over 9/11.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So there
all right. No, I know we're off the rails.
Know.
That's fine. But like, what is the thought process of that?
I have no clue. But it was
I don't know the exacts. I remember that was a thing though.
Yeah. So I
missed that part,
so
which is weird because like Tool is my you guys know me. I talk about like Tool
came back and you got to
all-time.
see Tool, but they probably had some stupid band like Mindless Self-Indulgence replace Rage Against the Machine, right? And you're just like, what? Like, I mean, like me at that point, if I bought those tickets, it was to go see Rage Against the Machine and not Tool. Obviously, I probably would have had a great time watching Tool live, but like 10th grade me was
Tool live is a special experience. But I don't think I'm ever going to get to see Rage Against the Machine live. I was going to go see him, and then COVID happened. Yeah.
So Blake, just to go further down, are you aware of the Kermit the Frog theory?
No.
The fuck, dude. I thought you were supposed to keep us on track.
I was like, holy shit! Like, am I aware? Am I aware of what? Yeah, no. Is this like the TikTok where Kermit pulls his dick out and breaks the girl's heart? Because that's my favorite TikTok video ever.
I forget the movie because I'm not like a Muppets guy, but there's a movie where Kermit goes back in time, and in one of the shots, the Twin Towers is behind him, and in another shot, it's not. So the theory is that by Kermit the Frog going back in time, he caused the Twin Towers to be knocked down.
Oh my fucking Christ.
So now that we get into issue number 3 of this book, we got Lady Flash showing up.
Here's what's going on in future episodes, everybody, is I'm really glad I spent a few hours on Cole's and I's new fucking logo, but Chris is about to be a permanent co-host, and we're gonna have to redo. Ignacio, if you're still listening, I need you to draw Chris because he's going to be our third forever now. After that, like we can't go back to just Cole and I after tonight's episode. Chris, like you fucked us. You fucked us when you had us all on the podcast together with Bearded, and now you fucked us coming on our show. That we should have never done this, Cole. I told you that. I told you I didn't.
Which is coming back, everybody.
So I didn't tell him. I told him I love Chris and we should have him on the show, but this motherfuck, man, really?
I'm 95% sure now that this Mars Volta thing happened.
Wait, what the fuck? Now we're at Mars Volta?
But everyone apparently got really weird. Also, the singer of Mindless Self-Indulgence might be a racist. There was this weird thing I found out about that on like thing. But anyway, I'm pretty sure the Mars Volta replaced Rage Against the Machine.
We're gonna go 2 hours tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna go 2 hours and really dive into this and really dive into these comments.
We might beat the 1 hour and 15-minute record that we've had with 1 hour and 16 minutes only because Blake's gonna tell everyone how much he loves them like for like 20 minutes before we can end the story. So we're on episode 3. I'm sorry, I've got to rein it in. We're talking about the new superheroes. I don't even care. I'm just gonna show the last 2 panels that we've got.
Show them.
This is episode 4. There's an Iron Maiden, so let's get back to band. And then we've got, this is the coolest of all these superheroes. Yeah. One thing that we never even talked about yet, the superheroes, that's not really what they actually look like.
They're secret magicians.
They were secret magicians. Oh, we got Last Catch 'em. What is going on? What up? You missed the off the rails.
You came in at a weird time.
Hopefully we get it back together. We're talking Vanish. It is weird.
We're talking Vanish.
But also,
we're
like,
talking
you-
9/11. It's
Let-
getting crazy. What's happening?
But also
Let's
for
talk,
everyone
let's
new
talk about
here-
my one true love.
Yeah,
Let's talk about
hashtag
Pokemon
Vanish.
for a minute.
Okay. There's a Pikachu back there. I see it.
Pikachu. I got my Bulbasaur right here. Everybody, look at that.
Look at that.
Uh,
Yeah.
Here is a Comic Tom Pikachu or Pokemon card.
Nice.
So
Here, I'll pull
Is
out.
it
I'll
as
pull
cool
out.
as
Let
my
me
Team
let me
Rocket
pull out
Pikachu?
something real quick.
Is that?
Here's an effeminate piece of shit who's got a hot take on. No, I don't have hot takes anymore. I don't even know. Cole ducked his head away behind
yeah,
Michael.
I was just like, well, I'm trying to see if there's any Pokemon cards. I have this weird pile of cards. So if you ever win something that I physically send out, I like include random cards. So you have this chance of a turtle sticker or some Valiant cards because I think those things are funny. Here's a shiny Piccolo.
Donatello.
Just kidding. That's Cell.
Frieza.
Frieza.
Motherfucker.
But speaking of
leaving this show.
Piccolo,
I
here's
wanna
Piccolo's
be a
dad.
Super Saiyan.
Okay,
Let's
sorry.
see, I got. No, that's.
How do you
about
guys just
Pokemon.
have cards around your desk? I don't.
Dude,
have...
if you could see what my desk looked like, Blake, you'd probably.
I got
have a
my
heart
Charlie
attack.
McKelvey vintage card.
I've got
Everybody?
a Pachita. I've got a stuffed Pachita at my desk. That's all I got. That's all.
What's a Pachita? I already missed what.
All
That
right,
it's,
Cole,
it's
let's
Chainsaw
go.
Man, baby.
Oh, that's the wrong book.
Dude, he's fucking pulling binders
Here's a
out.
Vixen card.
Oh
Here we
my
go.
God.
Let's do it. No, I'm
All
not.
right. So what are we actually talking about here?
Hold on. Cole, pull up Comics by the Bay. Found me on Twitter, and I think I broke him.
Like I found you on Twitter. Apparently he's great.
That's all right. So we know that account is fake because Ethan Van Sciver has said that my PP has never touched a vajayjay.
I was gonna say it says fornicator, so we know it's bullshit.
Like, yeah, we know that that's fake because I've never left a lover unsatisfied. Which psych, that's happened a lot.
So here's a weird thing. Coheed and Cambria is one of the best bands I've seen live,
Yeah.
and also one of the worst bands that I've seen live.
Did you go to their acoustic set?
No, but they ended a fucking set on an acoustic song. It was weird as fuck.
Yeah.
It was literally 6 months later between the two times. I was telling my buddy the whole time we're driving to Pontiac, Michigan, which is roughly half an hour from where Ryan Stegman lives, the artist in Spanish that we're talking about currently.
I want to keep the Ryan Stegman geographic land point for the rest of the episode.
And I'm telling him how great it is. It was Under Oath, Coheed and Cambria, and Fallout Boy. Weirdest combo of people.
That's an odd combination.
That was pretty all right. I drank a 3-liter of Faygo on the way there.
Yeah.
But they're wide mouth, so I had to pee on the way back. I just peed in the bottle and threw it out the
I
window.
still think my weirdest was the last Vans tour I ever went to, where in the parking lot, as my friend's getting arrested for having weed on him, I'm grilling burgers and getting drunk listening to Real Big Fish. Walked in and saw Whitechapel. And then as my friend gets knocked out, we walk over and we go see the Casualties.
Wow.
And then finish. I forget who we finished off, but another like metalcore band. One of the weirdest like shows I've ever been to because it was such a back and forth of my interests of like metal and punk and ska.
Yeah, that's an amalgamation of
There's a tour called Riot Fest. I saw bands like City and Color, No Effects, Samhain, Slayer, The Offspring, Wu-Tang Clan.
City and Color is dangerous.
That's phenomenal. That sounds like
Dude,
the best
like
day
just
of your
all crazy.
life.
Yeah. I think I saw Senses Fail. I forced my wife to walk to the emo core stage. I've never seen this band live, and I want to see them.
No wonder when we're talking late night sometimes when you're like Blake, I gotta go. My wife's texting me. No, now that all makes sense now.
Yeah,
No,
I forced her-
City and Color. Guys, I'm so sorry, people that tuned in to listen to Vanish talk tonight. But
City and Color is one of my favorites.
we figured this out a couple weeks ago that Cole and I talked just enough about why you should buy this book, and then
and then you have the
and then
opportunity
other
to
shit.
possibly win it,
and
if
then
you
other
put
shit,
in the
and then you know
hashtag
what?
in the banner down
Fucking
below.
70. We get 70 views and a whole bunch of contest entries and like so. We're clusterfucks, but you guys are listening and subscribing and coming back week after week. So I feel like we got to stay in the weirdness. But City and Color is so special to me, and I wrecked my Audi. I had a Audi and I had a Audi Quattro convertible that was very fast and a convertible, and I wrecked it the night I saw City and Color, and I also I don't care. I'll tell the story. This is Bouncer Blake days. It's a long time ago. And I bought a vinyl at the City and Color merch table. And then we went back to the bar that we all worked at. It was the new vinyl. It started with the woman. The woman was track 1. Fuck. It's the one. It's like his 10-minute. It's like a 10-minute track.
Oh yeah, I know. I bought the like $100 deluxe version.
Of course you did. You one-upping motherfucker. Anyway, so Cole bought the $100 version of it. I bought the 20. I bought the $25 version of it, and then called my cocaine dealer and bought the other $75 version of it that no one advertised. And we went back to the bar we all worked at. And like my dad was having heart surgery. My fucking, oh my God, we're going to tell a weird story right now. My fucking dad's having heart surgery in the hospital. It's called
the Hurry and the Harm, right?
Yeah. The Hurry and this was called the Hurry and the Heart. And it's like, cause my dad was having heart surgery.
Oh, I lied. That's If I Should Go.
Yeah, no, this was the woman, the woman.
So I have the other one. I got the Hurry and the Harm. I think.
All right. Well, anyways, so I buy this vinyl. I go call my guy and buy $100 worth of snort fun from him, and we go back to the bar after the concert. After like we went to like this power, they call our party district in Kansas City Power and Light, and like we were all drinking and taking shots and having fun, and then we fucking all go back to fucking to Midtown to this bar we all worked at,
the comic book store.
Number one comic book store.
The book we're talking about.
And I remember, like, I literally remember, like, there are numerous people in this bar, and I'm taking a bag of drugs and dumping them out on the vinyl that I bought and cutting it up, and like the waitresses, the bartender, the regulars that like come to the bar a lot, like everybody's going to like the end of the bar to just like do bad drugs, like openly, like
also,
we don't, no one cares.
That record.
Yeah, well, no, it was still wrapped in plastic. It was just.
Oh yeah, yeah. In my head, he was doing.
In my head, it was like literally the actual vinyl.
No. It's still wrapped in plastic. We're just using it as a tray, and so like we do all this, and then like. All of a sudden at the end of the night, like everybody's gone. I'm talking to Ethan, the bartender, rest in peace. Ethan's not alive anymore, which goes to even more of an insane story. But like, and he's like talking to me. He's like, dude, are you okay? And I was like, no, like my dad's having open heart surgery right now. And I'm fucking going to concerts and doing fucking cocaine on the end of bars in South Kansas City. Cause like trying to have fun when you're like scared of everything. And so anyway, like that night I wrecked my car, and I got really lucky, and my friends had a tow truck in like deal. And I was like, all right, let's keep going, guys. This is the story. So I wrecked my car. I fell asleep driving, basically, right? So I fell asleep driving, and I wake up and I'm grinding down a highway median, and I see there's sparks flying up on the driver's slide because I'm sliding down the concrete median, and I wake up and I was like, ah! And I like cut the wheel. And the wheel was bent and it didn't cut right. And there's all these other cars like honking at me and screeching. And everybody's like trying to drive around me because I'm like, there's sparks flying everywhere. My car's sideways on a fucking highway. And I see a Quick Trip down the street, and I fucking hobble this fucking beautiful Audi convertible that I had. And I hobble it to this Quick Trip. And I call my tow truck buddy. There's all these cops there. Like cops are all there eating their fucking breakfast, getting their fucking donuts and coffee and shit. And I was like, I'm gonna get arrested. And they were like, Blake, take your keys, throw them under the car. So I take my keys, I throw them under the car. I'm fucking bleeding, right? And then my buddy's like, where are you at? And I was like, I don't know. I'm at a Quick Trip. They're like, what Quick Trip are you at? I was like, I don't know where I am. And they were like, Blake, go inside, go to the register. Ask them to print you out a receipt that has, I've got fucking blood leaking out of the side of my head. And I was like, hey, can I get a receipt with your address? And she had to be like probably 16. She just looks up at me and she's like, are you fucking kidding me? It's like, it's fucking 7:30 in the morning, dude. And I was just like, I just need a receipt. She gives me this receipt.
If someone knows what emoticon this is, let me know.
I think it was to me because it, like Last sounds like my kind of people, like punk, metal, Pokemon. Like this is my life right now.
Yeah. I once won a Soda Pop Batgirl Funko Pop from her.
Wow, I've never won anything.
Well, you got to
actually, that's a lie.
Well,
I've won
to be fair,
a couple things.
If you listen to some podcasts and or watch some YouTube shows, you'd have probably a lot better chance of winning.
Stop being a goddamn grifter.
Oh, it's a melting head. Yeah. So,
but yeah. So anyway, that's the story that my buddies picked me up in a tow truck. I had a really gnarly concussion. I missed like a week of work because my brain didn't work, and then
but you're alive here to talk about.
Yeah, that's
Vanish.
That's why drinking and driving is bad, folks. Don't ever do it. And also, like, you should probably read Vanish. Like, don't drink and drive, and then also read Vanish Volume 1.
So what are your final thoughts overall? How are you ranking this? We had it at one point on a scale of 10. I got upset and I wanted it on a scale of 5. We're meeting in the middle.
Where is our
We're
point?
meeting in the middle. We're doing this on a 7.5 scale. So what are you rating Vanish Volume 1 on a 7.5, Blake?
Oh my God. All right, I'm going to give it a 6.3. I'm going to give it a 6.34. We're just shy of rounding up. 6.34. I really dug it.
No.
I dug the magic. I get really excited for indie comic superhero books. I think we need more of them. I think they're dangerous. I think they're risky. I think they're hard to pull off. And I think Ryan and Donnie did a great job with this. And so like really, really, really close to perfection, but not quite. And yeah, a 6.34 out of 7.56. What was your fucking weird scale, you asshole? Oh my God, that's
7.5.
so hard. Yes, yeah, 6. I'll give it a 6.34. It's great, and it's great.
They're both on IG. I can send them to you, I think.
Yeah, I'm at Blake's Buzz everywhere. By the way, we can talk about all the ways I've fucked up my life later. It's
proud of you, Blake. You do your best.
Thanks. Hey, you know what? The one thing you can say about me is I'm genuine. I'm an effeminate, genuine piece of shit, and I'm always gonna tell you how it is, and I'm gonna tell you about my life stories, and I'm gonna tell you what I think, and I'm gonna tell you that all the time. But for real, like 6.34. This was very strong. This was very fun. This was very easy to read. My biggest complaint was it was only a 4-issue trade, and the issue 5 really ramped it up to another level. I really feel like they should have given it 5 issues in the trade, because
it's only 8 total.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not my fault though. I didn't decide that.
Oh, is this an 8-issue mini?
Well, I was looking at Image's website, and there's only 8 there. I think it's only 8. It was supposed to be the end of story arc.
I was reading the
All
comics.
right, so we're going with you, Fortress Comics. What are we saying?
This is a 7.5.
7.5. Or you can rate it out of a 5 if you want.
You could rate it out of a 10 if you really want to throw him for a fucking loop.
I'll stick with the 7.5. It's your show. I'll say 7. I love this.
Damn.
First 4 issues. It mixes, like, being somebody who really enjoys Harry Potter and loves Donnie and loves just every element of this book is right up my alley. And I just thought that the book got really cool throughout it. Hearing that it's only 8 issues kind of depresses me. I was hoping it was going to be an ongoing.
I did too. I thought it was going to be like bigger and like, because you know what? I would rather have this go
4 ends. it's going to be hard to keep. I mean, in issue 5 too, to maybe
I
push
hear ya.
beyond that, right? Like, there's like what 6 members of this group, and he's killed.
I just want.
But
Or
there's so
after-
yeah, there's so much more weirdness. Second, like look
Yeah.
at fucking Infinite Black. Like I initially liked Infinite Black, but it's like it's
Radiant
expanded and Radiant Black, and it's expanded.
But this
and
is also
blown up
different,
and-
right? We're dealing with like a bad guy as
Yeah.
opposed to
I mean,
the
this
hero, right?
definitely
and-
a finite story. I agree with you there. But being somebody like I absolutely, and I wasn't a huge Venom fan before Donnie and Stegman's run on that, and living through that and reading that month to month just made me love that pairing even
Yeah.
more than the individuals when they were
Yeah.
doing separate things. So I want these two to work together forever, personally. But yeah, I really love this book. But you're gonna be hard pressed for me to give a bad review to any Donnie books, really.
So I want people to go back, watch the tape of every single episode of Blake and Cole read a book, because I think we have a first time situation here. I'm going to rate this book a
The Kermit theory?
6.9, and I think that I'm rating this higher than Blake
You
for
went
the
higher
first
than
time.
me. Yeah, wow.
On every single episode, I think the Blake has rated books higher than me, and this is the first time that I'm rating it higher. Mainly, I made it 7.5 just solely for the reason that I could give this a 6.9. I thought that was funny. Nice, yeah. So this is I don't know, man. I'm a huge Donny Cates fanboy, and I probably don't make it verbally visible as much as maybe some other people do, but I like him. I think he's great. I think this book was great. I had a ton of fun with it. It's definitely very different than some of his stuff, but it isn't, right? I think this is a great, superhero, like underdog, almost bad guy story, right?
Yeah.
This is, I mean, it's loosely an anti-hero, but is he the good guy? Is he the bad guy? Who knows? What is going on? Retired Navy Rob, thanks for joining us. We also got Couching and Slouching, and thank you for joining us. And no apologies.
Get that hashtag in, baby.
Make sure
we
you
haven't-
guys
we haven't
put
clicked
this
the
in.
button yet.
Also, apparently we got a lot of Bird fans in here, so we can all agree that the Chiefs are only a group that weirdos.
All right. Well, I'm wearing a Marvel hat. I'm not
Yeah.
wearing a Chiefs hat.
I know, but you're still a fan, and I just wanted
Yeah,
to
I'm a
start
big
putting-
Chiefs fan.
Yeah, I need to get another one of those.
Fans-
My sister-in-law is actually in my house. and she
People that
bought
watch the show tonight now know that like Blake loves Chiefs and cocaine, and that's fine. That's good. That's fine. But
And-
we can't afford cocaine anymore, though. All we can afford to be is a Chiefs fan now. Like we're.
I mean, you
Life
have
is
to.
I
afford
love
the
cocaine to be a
Lions
Chiefs
and
fan,
self-hatred.
but it's fine.
and that's why I do a show with Blake every week.
I still don't know why Cole does a show with me every week. I'm riding his fucking coattails. I'm stealing his fucking YouTube subscribers. Like I get like a handful of subs after every episode. After every episode we do, I bring nothing to the show. I don't know why he keeps having
We
me
need
on.
a
That's
pause.
fine.
We got another Lions. I forgot that C Bizzle is a Lions fan. Hey, they're going to be good this year. There's good chances the Lions are winning the NFC North. Let's just talk about it. The Lions had a chance to beat the Eagles, who were loosely the best team in the NFL last year.
Loosely, hands down, the best team.
Well, they didn't win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
The,
So-
doesn't mean
so
shit.
they didn't beat the best team.
I mean, it's hard when the referee's on your side. But I'll say this: I think the
And
Lions.
now you know what it's like being a Lions fan.
The Lions have been
referee's
a
on
team I've
every
been
other
rooting
team's
for on the
side.
side for years now. I love your head coach. Let's go into NFL talk here. I love your head coach. I love the team building. I think you made a mistake trying to get CJ Gardner-Johnson from us. But I think this is the year where you have to prove it. If you don't make the playoffs and make some moves, like it's over.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing I can say as a Lions fan, and this is talk that most people don't care about, is that I think the biggest bummer of this year was losing Jamal Williams. But also the greatest moment for Lions is that they didn't overpay a guy. They offered him a contract. He didn't want to take it. They offered it to possibly a better running back. He took the contract to join the team. And I'm guessing that's Williams' lawyer's fault. But hey, whatever.
Yeah. So two things.
We got
I mean,
comic
Jamal
book puzzles. What's going
Williams-
on, dude?
to everyone out there, check him out because not only is he a great running back, but he is
Awesome anime fan.
he's a huge nerd.
I
and he
love
puts it
I
out
love
there
how big
on
of a nerd he is.
Yeah, it's amazing. Second,
He's like,
I
I
really
just wanna
hope that there's
leave and go
people that
watch
love this
cartoons.
crossover as somebody developing a football comic currently. I really hope that's a crossover that's there because I'm going to need it. But yeah,
I
Jamal
mean,
Williams
Southern
is awesome.
Bastards did well. There's a episode where Superman goes against the Ghost quarterback. I think that Stan Lee wrote that issue. Don't quote me on that. Do you have the Ghost quarterback issue?
No, listen, the greatest comic book ever made
Get
right
the fuck
here.
outta here.
I mean,
Are you fucking serious?
You're no, but Blake is just like, all right, I guess we're replacing him with Bearded Comics, bro. Because at least
I'm spending too much time.
Tell me how great of a father I would be, Chris. Tell me right now. Be like,
all right, so
like
I'm
I
gonna
wish
run
I
this.
wish
If the
I
kid
wish
wants some
my dad
cocaine,
I
he's
wish
in
my
for it.
dad wrecked his car high on cocaine and Rumplements and told me about it when I was 12 and just really set me straight.
All right, we're running the giveaway here. We're at an hour, so I'm running it. Things are gonna get
Hour.
weird.
We got another half an hour to go. Let's do it.
Nornrad, what's going on? I think you might be the first second time winner. I have your address, but it is always very helpful for me if you can hit me up on Instagram and resend it because I forget and it's easier. It'll just show up on the top of my feed.
I feel so bad.
I
feel
still
like
owe like 3 people
Yeah.
books. So sorry, I'm lazy. I still need to get a new credit.
every episode like Cole knows I'm unemployed, so every episode I do with Cole, he's like, all right, we're doing this giveaway.
Well,
And
to
I'm
be
like,
fair, you got us one free one, and maybe next week.
yeah, I got
I
us a free one next week. We're gonna do a I
what's
guess
going
should
on
we
here?
announce? You want to go ahead and announce it? Like,
Yeah, you can, Blake. You hooked this up, so we got.
well, I didn't hook us up. Well, I guess I did hook us up. Like, so everybody fucking loves me. And it's really hard to be loved by everybody. I just want to tell you,
everyone except your co-host.
yeah, everybody except my co-host and Ethan Van Sciver and Peter Simitti.
Don't put me in that grouping, dude.
No, so next week we're gonna do things a little bit differently next week because we had a publisher reach out to us and wants us to talk about their comic, and it's a very cool comic. It's from a Wave Blue World that they've
Which
had
we
some
did Crash and Troy.
Crash
and
and
they
Troy.
donated a book for that. I still need to send that one out too.
that
goes all the way to Canada. Yeah, I've got some other stuff that I've got to send him, and he
All
also
right.
was like, "Hey, I'm gonna send you some money so you can." Help
Wait,
me
who
send
won
it."
that? Was it Ignacio?
It's Callie and Jordan Squad.
Oh, damn it! I thought it was. I got to send Ignacio some shit. That's
yeah, I'm not sending stuff to him. That's
Yeah.
fucking way far away.
Yeah, I know it sucks. It sucks, big dick. Anyway,
But if you like
no,
Ignacio, he made this picture.
Yeah, Ignacio's so talented, but lives so far away. And thanks for entering our contest. Fuck her. Anyway, next week we are gonna do Wave Blue World. They have a new series called The Tower, and it's a battle royale type video game series. The art is great. It's high action. It's really interesting. It's about it's very cutthroat and about who you decide to team up with when the risks are big, right? And it's a really great
Like if
comic.
you send those to Comic Book Poser, he'll send them to Ignacio. Sorry to interrupt you.
Okay, well, I
wouldn't remember
I'll
if
send
you
him.
did.
I'll send him somewhere. let me know. Anyway, but yeah. So next 1 through 3 comes out. Issue 3 comes out next week. So we are gonna do. We're gonna talk about issues 1 through 3, and we're gonna give away. We're gonna do a sponsored giveaway from a Wave Blue World, and we're gonna give away issues 1 through 3, and we're gonna do the Virgin variants of issues 1 through 3. So like, not only are you gonna get the fucking comics that are actually very good, you're gonna get Virgin variants that are worth more money. If you guys are like little specko weirdos, you can fucking sell them or do whatever.
Or if you just like some nice looking.
Yeah, if you just
clean
like
covers.
some sexy covers, like we're gonna get you those. And that was so cool of a Wave Blue World. Like we didn't.
And
we
since
didn't even
Comic
have to
Book
ask.
Poser is here, and we're talking about Ignacio, this is a book that the two of us did. If you want to buy one, reach out to Comic Book Poser. Look at how cool this is. Have you guys heard of Comic Book Clear? Boop! Look at that.
Look at that.
That is a board made out of plastic, and it's got my logo and his.
Oh, that's the clear backing board.
Yeah. So
Man, aren't those like $25? They're like $1 a piece or something, aren't they?
Yeah, but there's like for
No,
a
they're
thing like this,
awesome.
dude,
They're
it's-
gorgeous.
Well,
That's cool.
And I figure if I ever do like an exclusive like this, it's one of those things that is probably worth it to add in, right?
Are you shipping those? Like if people buy those, you're sending them a clear backing board?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I bought this, and this is a
I
personal
was like,
copy. for my
fuck,
own.
dude, I'm about
I'm
to buy
saying
one of those.
That he has one. I mean, if you buy a copy of it, I will send you a clear backing board and the back. a Mylar. This is their MyLight product too, because this one's that important to me. I lied. It's not because it's got that. But this is one of their bagging boards.
Justin Cole's a fucking liar.
Well, if you want to see what their MyLight looks like, it looks like this. As you can see, it's shinier, and it's also got the clear backing board there. And this
those are very clear. Like I've seen them advertised, but I've been curious about like how clear they actually are.
And if you want to see another book,
Jesus Christ. If you would, I don't feel bad about my cocaine story anymore because at the end of the night, Cole was like, if you guys want to pay me money, we'll send you this. We'll send you this.
Also,
We'll
here's
send you that.
first appearance Poison Ivy. This is a 0.2 on the Richter scale, but here it is. It doesn't have a clear backing board because I forgot this is a Silver Age cover and I got current bags of boards. Oh, and speaking of Tom King Batman.
Yeah, speaking of, where are we going now?
This is the first appearance of Kite Man.
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice.
And like the third appearance of Batmite.
Man, you're big on those keys. Cole told me that I've got keys buried that I got to dig out, and everybody knows I'm unemployed and I'm thinking about selling them. I gotta.
And I'm like, hey Blake,
Blake. Yeah, he's like, oh, you got that Miles Morales.
You got my daughter's favorite Spider-Man first appearance. Yeah. Why don't you? And
then I've got the Spider-Gwen too. But my Spider-Gwen I pulled the sticker because when I bought that comic for $4, I didn't know it was going to be worth like $500 several months later.
Speaking of vinyl records, here's a Matthew Rosenberg vinyl record.
You even got those? Fucking Matt sent me a personal copy of the first couple issues of that. I never got those.
Oh, these were special edition. I won them in a mystery box.
Yeah, I pre-ordered them and they just never fucking came out. Like
that's the thing. The second prints are still coming out. So depending on where you pre-ordered them, you might still have a chance.
I had to get in a fight with an eBay seller.
Hey, Kenneth, sorry, I don't think I said hi to you.
Hey, what's up, Kenneth? But yeah, I got into a it wasn't a big fight with an eBay seller, but I told him, I was like, there was like several months went by and I was like, dude, what's up? And he was like, if you don't have it in a couple months, hit me up again. And I hit him up again. And I was like, dude, just give me my money back. But like even from the shop I pre-ordered, but then Matt sent me like a care package with like some pins and a poster and a postcard, and he like signed everything and shit. I still don't understand why. I think he did it because he felt guilty about agreeing to my podcast and then not responding to set up the interview. But regardless, I got a big poster signed by him, so like worked out for me. But like I didn't even get the records, and I tried real hard.
Yeah, well, I got them by joining.
That's so cool. I'm really glad you did that, Cole. I'm really happy for you.
I've been looking for a better copy, so if I do, I'll let you know if I move this one.
Do you have 1 and 2, or is it both 1?
This is 1 and 2, I think.
Motherfucker, you and your stupid mustache.
As somebody who's a big
cool
fan
thing
of like weird villains,
Blake
I haven't.
Also, did a song on issue 1.
There you go.
But
I have a lot of copies of the first appearance of The Spot, and now that he's in like a major movie,
I have that.
Yeah, what's that going for, Chris?
I don't know exactly, but
is that the one where they're walking away?
No, right? Spot's on the cover.
Oh,
yeah, it's the Mark Waid Daredevil run.
No, it's a Spider. No. It's an Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then I also have a ton of copies of ROM #1. So if they ever make a ROM movie, like
you need to listen to Wednesday Pull List podcast. Just find him on Twitter. Tell him, send him a picture of all your ROM #1.
Holy shit, Poser's in the comments.
Yeah, Poser showed up, and I was never able. Yeah, so
yeah.
I don't.
No
I got
one
this...
was. Cole stole the show.
If you know Ruby G over at White Tiger, Cool, Calm, and Collect, he got these. I signed up for his mystery box because that was one of the bonus prizes that you could win. Only 3 people bought his mystery boxes. And it was just like, hey, if anyone wants anything, let me know. I'm splitting the prizes up between all of you. And I was like, hey, I signed up specifically for those records. That's what I liked the most. And everyone was like, give them to Cole. He's a good dude. I don't want records. So I got the records.
Wow.
Oh, sorry, Kenneth. We kind of gave this away already. But I will maybe make a short of playing a song from this record and showing my cool.
I hope you do.
turntable.
I hope you play a
even
fucking
have a
short and play
turntable?
your goddamn song. I have a turntable. Yeah, I have a great turntable and a nice preamp and a whole bunch of shit.
Not this weekend.
It's next weekend, right?
Is Comics Burrito still
It's
a
the
thing?
22nd.
I mean, it's always going to be a thing.
I thought he was about. Well, I don't want to like. Cole was talking about changing some shit, and I was like, oh, because Burrito's coming back, and you were like, no, real life.
Well, yeah. So I might also release another video.
But
earlier
I
this week.
got kind of excited because I was like, oh shit, Burrito's coming back, and then I was also like, I also got excited because I was like, bring me in.
Yeah, there might be some.
Bring me in
changes.
as the fourth tortilla.
Well, I think I've always been the cheese.
Yeah, I'll be the chorizo. I'm just saying.
No,
I'll be
we
the
already
chorizo.
had. Yeah, I don't know.
So I forget who said it now, but I want to shout out to the chat. I will check out Kickers Inc. because apparently that's another NFL Marvel comic book.
What? Who the? Where? I'm definitely missed some stuff. It was probably Poser, and he sucks. So don't listen.
But he said it's better than NFL Super
Oh,
Pro. So
that
I'll
is
check it
You know
out.
Sam
what-
King.
what's-
Just
what's-
kidding.
Sam
Sam
King.
King is only delivering some of the greatest stuff. Sam King is an OG. He's one of the original burrito fans. So yeah, shout out to him. And still, yeah, and we still have a Discord, I guess. It's still my Discord.
No, your Discord's still popping. It's really fucking aggravating.
It's weird. We're just like a bunch of dudes talking about weird stuff. If you play Wordle, go over there and you can hang out with me, Chaos and Comics, and Todd and the weird sub. It's not even a channel. It's just a sub thread that has been going strong for like 30. It's been going strong for like 2 or 3 months now, which is like crazy. If you know Discord, after one day of somebody not posting, a thread goes away, and this thread has been kicking for like 2 months, which is almost insane.
I pop in
And-
every now and then when I get a big interview. Like I posted my Matt Kent interview in there, I think, or it's one of the last big interviews I did. I posted in there.
And
No,
Blake,
sometimes
I
you get
can
hot when I tag you and stuff.
I can send you this if you'd like, but just to clarify on something earlier, at knowyourmeme.com,
My favorite
Kermit did
Blake.
9/11 refers to a fan theory that exists of Kermit the Frog left to follow Twin Towers. It is based on a scene in the 2000.
And this got weird. I've been Cole. He's
Holy
Blake.
shit,
We've
that
got
was the
Chris.
best.
That was
That
a
was the best
countdown.
fucking thing ever.
And hey, thank you all for coming here. This was a very weird issue. I think we're going to kind of invite people to come in on the fives.
We're never
and
going
the
to invite
zeros.
anybody on this show again. Cole's like, I got to deal with Blake. I can't deal with all this other bullshit.
Yeah, so if you want to be somebody, you know me. All my links are below. The first person that responds and sends me something on Twitter and or Instagram saying, I want to be on the next issue of a guest on, maybe we'll invite you. Most likely we will. Most likely we won't. Blake's got stuff coming up, but I'm not going to let him talk because he's talked too much. Chris, what do you got going on your podcast? I've got a link to his website down below if you want to find his YouTube channel. That also has a link. So go there. Chris, what do you got coming up on your channel? Blake and I were on there about a week ago. We might be doing a returning show where us
No, I think
and
we are the 28th, right?
I'm
We're
at-
all coming back on the
might
28th or
be on there with us
26th or
too.
something.
If you guys want to
Recording
hate on
that
Super
day,
Pro, yeah.
Blake, it's a Merry Muppet Christmas. Yeah, you can find me at Force Comic News, where I do a weekly podcast. We usually sorry. Oh, that was too perfect. We interview creators every week. We just did the Bags Brothers from Expired.
Those are good people. Those are good people.
Good dudes. I don't like announcing who's coming up next because I've had too many people kind
Which
of
is funny because I like announcing it, but Cole told me I can't. So that's real cool. Thanks, bud.
Well, who do you got? You got some, if you got
I've
somebody
announced
big, do it.
to stick with Donnie Cates. Actually, I had Donnie booked years ago before he
What?
signed that Marvel deal, and he announced the Marvel deal, and then had to tell me like, dude, I can't do the show because Marvel. Apparently, I'm not big enough for Marvel.
Yeah, they have to get you okayed.
Yeah.
Even if you know them, I had to go through that the last time David Popose was on the show.
So,
I had to
like,
I
I
had
was
to
gonna
submit
say,
a request.
you
I am
do
like
once every week, maybe twice a week on Spotify?
me.
He's once,
No,
he's
like-
once a week, right?
Once a week
Yeah,
for
once
Blake?
a week, sometimes
Blake.
twice a week. It depends. If I get a lot of interview requests, I am a sucker, and sometimes will
Yeah, sometimes you gotta
overwork
do
myself to do more reviews or interviews. But yeah, with David Posey, for instance, like I've known him forever, and I can't even interview him anymore because he's with Marvel.
That's so stupid, man.
Yeah.
My metrics aren't even that great, and I got it. That's bullshit.
Yeah,
That aggravates me big time.
Yeah, Marvel and DC do not like me, but I do get some if they're more established, like we have Colin Bunn on all the time. We're gonna have I'll say this because I trust him. Like Robert Derrickson's gonna be back on the show, or Derek Robertson. I'm
Nice.
a little drunk now, but so we do get some, but a lot of times newer people coming into the thing are afraid to push the limits of Marvel PR.
I would be afraid to push your limits.
Yeah, I
Not
would
to push too many names, but like someone I met before, she was a part of the Big Two and
We're
was
looking at you,
promoting her
Stephanie
stuff back when
Phillips.
I wasn't gonna say it, but when I was promoting her stuff back when she was on Kickstarter,
I just
and
made a
now
guess
can't be on my show. Yeah, so it's tough, but anyways, just throw that aside. We got some cool interviews coming up. I'm really happy about the lineup for the next 2 months. So check out the show. We talk about the news every week. We interview creators. It's a fun time.
I'm gonna have Chris on the next couple weeks. We're just gonna get fucking hammered and talk about weird shit. I don't even know what it's gonna be about.
Yeah, I'm
We're gonna make it
definitely
happen.
not going to be a part of that.
I mean,
Let's just do a stream about
I wanna
Kermit
get-
the Frog.
me.
Let's do
It's gonna
that.
be. I want me, Chris, and Chaos. Like that motherfucker
The
keeps
double
talking
Chris
about.
combo.
He keeps fucking talking about coming on a show and doing something weird, and being whatever.
He came
like,
on my last most anticipated comics. I went live. Everyone thought it was a recorded video. I was live. I start interacting with the chat. They freak out. I'm like, I don't have a guess, but if somebody says that they'll show up, I'll send him a link. Chris is like, I'll do it. I sent him a link and he showed up. But
I'm very easy. Like listen, I live alone with a cat. I do a podcast and I work full time. But if you catch me in the afternoons, I'm pretty open to be on your show. So let me know.
Speaking of that Venom run, here's issue number 1. Just kidding. This is the other Venom run. This is I lied.
Oh, I was gonna say when we were talking
I
about
was
that
gonna-
earlier, I still want those omnibuses. I really want I want the King in Black and the Venom omnibus. Like
It's a great.
Yeah.
run.
I know there's
Everybody check
some
it out.
overlap, but they would look good
Next to each
on the
other.
shelf.
I was gonna say too with that, like when Al Ewing took over Venom, when basically Donnie and Al flipped books, Venom kind of had the same effect. Like people aren't really talking about that Venom run.
People doesn't like it. Well, it's also written by 2 writers, but
Yeah, but Al Ewing's Venom, and it's Ram V, right?
Yeah,
Is that
I haven't
one on
heard.
it?
I haven't heard a lot of people
They're-
talk about
it's
Rom, but
pretty
now
good.
Cullen's going to do a Venom spinoff now.
He's part
And
of the
everybody's
Venom
everybody's big excited about it. Like Venom kills the world or something.
Well, Colin Bunn's Venom. I went back and read it after Donnie's Venom, and he did the Flash Thompson Venom. So
Yeah.
it's not real Venom, everybody. But it's pretty good. I mean, Colin's a busy man, but he writes
Yeah.
pretty good books. So.
No, he Cullen writes good, but well, it's like so many.
Well,
people
thanks all
like
for
the
stopping
Remember
by.
run.
these guys are going to keep talking in the green room afterwards. I'm going to end it. Thank you all for stopping by. I'm sorry that you had to listen to us talk about Venom, but
cocaine.
hey,
Kermit
all,
the Frog.
all I've got to say is that we've been on this show for
10
enough
episodes.
time.
I broke